Okay, getting everything set. We should be live. And we're going to kick back and let a few people, see if we get a few people in here. And we'll see how that rolls. Hope everybody doing great tonight, by the way. We got some news to talk about. We're going to talk about some options you have also when it comes to maybe using something besides Plex. And we're going to talk about what Plex is doing and why it affects the people who maybe want a free solution. And the fact you can still use Plex free, but what it means with the Plex Pass price increase, and if you are sharing with people outside your home. And or using it yourself when you are traveling or outside your home to access your own Plex content. I don't agree with what Plex is doing completely. I think there's a lot of other things they could do instead of this, but we're going to talk about the whole thing and see who would like to talk about the future of Plex. Do you think this might kill Plex? Do you think this could be a nail in the coffin for Plex? Is it a bad business move ultimately? I mean, what is going on with their thinking with this whole situation? Personally, I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. Um, at the end of the day, they're a business. They're trying to make money. And I think there's better ways for them to try to make money than to do this particular thing to people and charge so much more for a Plex Pass. At the end of the day, they should be considering some other options as well. But these companies, they get greedy, but not just greedy, but Plex didn't make any money for, a good chunk of time when they started out. Now they're to the point where, well, they got to make money somehow. They got a lot of people who are definitely like entrenched and embedded into the Plex ecosystem and have servers and have big libraries and probably aren't going to want to change. So that's one of the things I think they're thinking about. But a lot of those people probably already have a lifetime Plex Pass. So I don't know exactly what they're thinking on that, whether they should or should not keep a lifetime Plex Pass. That's a question we have too. Some of the questions, going on in this whole scenario is what other ways could Plex make money? I mean, obviously there's ads. That's obvious. They could have their own premium content that they try to give to people that's an increased price. They could offer their content with no ads for a premium price for a subscription. So these are all things that they could do that other services do. I think Plex should think about their Plex service as far as people creating their collection and sharing it as a secondary thing, and they should look at primarily for themselves selling a subscription service to a streaming content or selling ads to keep themselves afloat. I don't know if you all know about the price increase that's happening with Plex, and whether you use Plex or don't use Plex, it definitely is an issue. As people are saying, I'm so glad I already bought a Plex Pass because prices are rising, etc., etc. They're rising quite a bit. I just put a video out about this, as well as I wanted to go live about this because I do have a rather large Plex myself. Those of you who do have Plex, and I did for several years, for that I used Plex for free. I didn't have a Plex Pass the first couple of years I had Plex. I built a beautiful Plex server, had a large server with a lot of content, and then I decided, you know what? There's a sale on the Plex Pass, and I probably should go ahead and purchase a lifetime Plex Pass. I think I paid around $80 for mine. The standard price is going to go up to $249.99. That's over double. It's $119.99, $120 right now. That's over double increase. I could understand them increasing at $50 or doing a small increase, but that's a large increase for a lifetime Plex Pass. They're really wanting to sell the lifetime Plex Pass to only people, obviously, that are going to majorly use it. And that, that's a huge deal. What do you get with a Plex Pass? What makes a Plex Pass worthwhile, though? Right? It's like, what makes a Plex Pass worthwhile? So one of the things that'll make it worthwhile is you can share your Plex with other people. This is my personal Plex that I have, and what I do is I can share this with friends and family. Really cool. The other thing that you get with a Plex Pass is you get some hardware advantages for your server. So let's just say you build a nice server with a really nice video card and you want hardware transcoding. You're probably going to want to use a pretty decent NVIDIA card. You don't have to use a super expensive one, but just, some kind of entry-level gaming card will do pretty well. That'll give you some pretty good hardware transcoding. I don't use one. You really don't have to use one. Software transcoding works pretty well. I have 3 to 4 people on my Plex watching things all the time, and it doesn't bog down, but I'm also running it on a little bit older generation i7. That's like an 8th generation i7. So that can be a really good machine to run as a Plex server. It is running Windows, and that being said, that server also serves other things for me. But in general, you're going to get that. You're going to get some other features too with Plex Pass. So Plex Pass also allows you to be able to use the portable app without any thing taken away. Now, the portable app, excuse me, the portable app has some limitations without having a Plex Pass. So if you're running the portable app for Plex as well, you're going to have limitations there. So a Plex Pass gets rid of the limitations on the portable version. This allows you to run an Android box that's running standard Android and not Android tvOS with the Plex app without any issues. So that's one of the things that it allows. You get the hardware transcoding. You're going to get the remote play capabilities with the Plex Pass now. So there's several things that are super important that you get. I'm not sure if they're taking it away. They recently added for free Plex Amp, which is the audio Plex only app, which is a really nice app actually for music. I don't know what else they're going to do as far as this goes. If anybody has any opinions or anything to add, feel free to put it in the chat. As far as this goes, from what I can see, I think that Plex is on its way to on a downhill slope. I think they're going to force a lot of people. I think they're really going to force a lot of people to switch to something else that's free. I plan on doing what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinstall Jellyfin because it's a completely free option. And I think I will do a video on how to set up and use Jellyfin going forward for people. And if that's something that people are interested in, definitely let me know in the comments below. If you watch this video after it's live, and let me know what you think about that. I'll go through a full Windows server setup of Jellyfin and adding some libraries and show you how to do the whole thing. Because it's not that difficult, but Jellyfin has some benefits over Plex in the fact that it's free. There is some increased availability for transcoding, which helps with people remotely watching stuff off of it. And the fact is the apps aren't as polished or as nice to use in Jellyfin. So there's pros and cons both ways. If you already have a Plex Pass, then you should go ahead and get one. If you've been, thinking about getting one, well, then you should really think really majorly about it right now. Because if you wait till it goes up in price, then you may be in for, having to spend a lot more money later if you're really thinking, oh, I am going to probably buy one. Um, it's not going to affect me. This whole thing won't affect me because I already have a Plex Pass. And make no mistake, if somebody's connecting to your Plex and they don't have a Plex Pass, it won't affect them watching your Plex. It will affect them watching their own Plex, or it will affect them watching somebody else's Plex if somebody was watching a free Plex. If you've been sharing your Plex with friends or family and it's a free Plex, then you're not going to be able to do that anymore when the switch happens. And the switch is happening in April on, I believe, the 29th. Starting April 29th. So it's something to be aware of for all of you. So that's one of the things I wanted to come on and speak about. So some of your other options out there, if you want a local only thing, you can always use something like Kodi to be your media server. You can use a variety of other apps just to play video files over your network off of an NAS. You can also, Jellyfin is going to be an option. So if we look at Jellyfin's page here, we can go ahead and you can download their software and install and try that out if you're currently using the free Plex. Before Plex takes away the free option for people to be able to watch your content, you may want to check out and see if Jellyfin might do the job for you. Compatibility wise with whatever boxes or devices that you or loved ones may be using to access the content, that would be a question. Let's take a look at MB, right? So if we look at MB, take your media anywhere with MB. So here's MB as another option. And MB is another one that I've been thinking about retrying out. They do have MB Premiere. So there is a monthly fee, and then there is a $119 one-time lifetime fee. If you use MB and you've been thinking about doing the lifetime on MB, you may want to really think hard about trying to just pay the lifetime fee for MB, because with the lifetime fee going up with Plex, you can bet your butt that MB's probably next, because what we have is a lot of times these guys kind of follow each other. So when you're looking at this one-time lifetime fee at $119 and then Plex is going up to $250, MB is going to be like, well, if Plex is charging that much, we can charge that much. So they're probably going to increase the cost across the board and charge you more for your collection. So you've got, offline media, MB DVR, free apps. There's all kinds of information down here about what you get with MB. This isn't going to be a full like MB video or Jellyfin video. This is just telling you like what your options are, so you have kind of an idea about what you can and cannot get. Jellyfin being the only good free option. Kodi is a good free option if you just want something locally for your home, and it works pretty simple for you to be able to add your content to it from a network. And it's, a great option. I've done videos before on how to do that with Kodi. It's not really difficult at all. But all of these options are just options for you. I'm not telling you what you have to use or what you should use 100%. I'm just telling you what the options are out there. Because in this situation, I don't think there is like 100%. I don't think there's a 100% right answer to this. I think for everybody, the answer is going to be a little bit different. If you already have a lifetime Plex Pass, Plex is a great option because you don't, it's technically free for you at that point because you're not paying any monthly fees. So if you have a lifetime Plex Pass, then it's still a great option. If you don't have a lifetime Plex Pass and you haven't bought one and you want something free, Jellyfin will be another great option for you to go with that's free if you're new to this whole creating your own media server and creating your own collection type thing. If you're just wanting to watch your content off one device, there's a lot of ways to do that. A lot of video players, media players, and such out there that will do that without a problem. So, whether you're wanting to use VLC player, whether you're wanting to use a variety of other players to do that, you can do that very, very easily through many operating systems using many different media player programs that are available out there. That depends on what you want to do. If anybody has any questions for me, please, type in the chat if you want to ask me a question. No problem at all. I just wanted to kind of talk about this because I know this is going to be like a conversation that's going to go on the next few weeks in the streaming world. And I know a lot of people use free Plex servers. They share with friends and family. You're going to see a lot of servers end up having issues because they're not going to be able to do that anymore. So you're going to find that out. Whether or not that's you or not, I don't know. That depends on depends on your needs. Plex was pretty Plex is pretty nice about the fact that all you have to do is tell your friend or family member, hey, go to Plex and create a free account. And once you've created your free account, you just give me the email and then I'll send you an invite. You send them an invite, it goes to their email, and then they just accept the invite. As soon as they accept the invite, they're on your Plex, whatever you've given them access to. So then you can go ahead and select the libraries that you want to give them access to. You don't have to give them access to everything. You can give them access to all of it if you want, or just some of the libraries. So a good example to that would be, if it's a child that you're sharing it with, you would only want to give the child access to, the sections that are appropriate. If it is, an adult, then you could give them more access. So there, those are reasons why you wouldn't want to give, all the access to all the libraries if you were to share your Plex out with somebody. I don't know exactly how you do that with the Jellyfin and MB. I'm sure they have some ways to do some things like that, and I'm going to have to reevaluate them because obviously some friends are going to ask me and be like, I need to be able to do this, but I can't use Plex. I can't afford to pay $250 or whatever it's going to cost for a lifetime membership, or the monthly cost for a Plex Pass. It's just not worth it to me. And so they're going to want to know, what other options they have out there. So I will definitely, my server that I'm running Plex on will get Jellyfin installed, and I will start setting up a Jellyfin. So if I connect up to, if I do a remote connection to my server, this is the server right here. And all I have to do is go in here, and I'm not on my personal computer anymore. I'm actually connected up to the actual my actual Plex server that also acts as my HTTP, FTP server, and my NAS, et cetera, for over my entire network. Now, if I want to go ahead and load Jellyfin on here, all I got to do is open up the web browser and go to Jellyfin's website and download and install Jellyfin and start setting up the server. And then boom, I've got a Jellyfin server. Now, what you have to do to give it remote access, you're probably going to have to open up some kind of port in your router and do a port forward for that to happen. That you have to do that with Plex in order to get external access out over the internet. And that's something that will have to be done. And I'll go over all of that in a complete tutorial video, step by step, how to set up Jellyfin when I actually set it up and push out a full how to do Jellyfin video. Hey HBR, what's going on? So what's happened is Plex has decided to start taking away the remote access for people. They're also increasing the fee for the Plex Pass, including the lifetime Plex Pass. They haven't taken away a lifetime Plex Pass. If you already have it, you're grandfathered in, you're fine. But if you're going to want to get a lifetime Plex Pass, you're probably going to want to think about doing it sooner rather than later. The end of April, on April 29th, is when this kicks into effect. So we're getting some forward warning, right? Over a month warning. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm just kicking back. I just heard this news yesterday and put out a video today about it, and now I'm just going live about it because I thought this was kind of an important subject. I know a lot of people that have Plex, and they might come back to this live show later and rewatch it afterward. And people are going to want to know their options because there's a lot of people that aren't going to want to spend the money on a Plex Pass. They're not going to want to, I know people right now that have Plex set up, pretty good Plex servers, as a matter of fact, and they have the Plex servers set up free. And so remote access to those free Plex servers will be no more. And they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do, whether they're going to use something else or whether they're going to buy a lifetime Plex Pass. I mean, it's as simple as that. And if people want to keep their Plex, they're gonna have to do that. That's up to each individual person to decide for themselves what's the best option for them at the end of the day. Like I said, I bought a Plex Pass a couple of years ago. I mean, I've had Plex for five plus years. I've had my Plex set up, and I rent it for free for a couple of years. So I understand if people have free Plexes out there. I mean, you can have several people on a decent Plex server without a paid Plex Pass. I mean, without a problem. So people can be on their Fire Sticks, or they can be on on a Android TV box, whether it's a Shield or whether it be a Google TV box or whatever it might be, and they can run the Plex app, and they could watch stuff remotely for free. But that's not going to be the case anymore. It's, in my opinion, a pretty big deal. I know it's going to impact a lot of people. There's a lot of people that decided, oh, you know what, the free Plex is fine for me, and it does the job. And unfortunately, that's just not going to work anymore. Anybody running a free Plex that's on a seed box or something, that's not going to work for you anymore. If you want your local Plex on your own local network in your house, that's going to be the only thing that's going to be free, is running it as a local media server. I'm not sure why they're taking away that free remote connection option. It's not like it really costs them anything. You have to run your server. They're not hosting any content for you. They're really not. It's not costing them anything per month to host anything, because they're not hosting your They're not hosting your server. They're not even running a server computer. It's your server that runs every month. Your own computer. It's your server, your content, and you're the one updating it, and you're the one paying for the server for the content. If you're paying monthly for a seed box, or if you have your own server at your house, you're paying for your internet connection that's hosting it. They're not hosting anything for you except for giving you updated, you're getting updated metadata in some cases, but a lot of that comes from the TV movie database and not even from them. So, it's kind of hard for me to see why they're doing this. They're going to upset a lot of Plex users, and they're going to lose a lot of Plex users. And I think you're going to see people that use Plex go way down. People aren't using Plex to watch their free TV and their streaming stuff. They're using that stuff on top of running their own Plex server for the most part. I mean, the people who are watching the TV and the streaming stuff are using Tubi and Pluto. They're not using Plex. At the end of the day, if you want the free content that's ad supported, this is why I said, if they really want to give people a bonus, they should do an ad free tier with their Plex Pass, and add that to what you're getting. To be honest, I mean, that would be a real benefit. But today, as it sits, well, all they're doing is giving people less stuff and raising their prices. So they're raising their prices and giving you less, and that's going to upset a lot of people. I mean, it's no doubt in my mind that this isn't going to go over well for them. They're going to lose a lot of customers. In the long term, I think it's going to be bad. And I think it's going to be bad for us who have already paid for lifetime Plex passes, because it's going to make the possibility of Plex going under a lot higher because they're making bad business decisions. And this is poor management on their part. Poor management. It really is. I think that this could be a sign of desperation. That you see them raising these prices. So I mean, what streamer Plex raises subscription price for the first time in a decade. Plex is going to make you pay for its best free feature. So, I mean, if they were just raising the prices and not taking away that free remote connection feature, that would be one thing. But even raising the prices and raising the price to the point that they're doing it is kind of high. I don't know what you guys think, but going from $120 to $250, that's a lot. I mean, that's a big jump in price. Now, what Plex used to have is they used to have a game server feature, which was pretty nice. They used to have an option for you to actually put some retro games and stream some retro games right off your Plex server. I would like to see more of that type of thing from Plex, and have that be an added feature you have to pay for to be able to have, because that would be something I would be very interested to be able to remotely share games with my friends and family. Even if I had to put a better video card in the computer in order to make that happen, I think that would be better than what they're doing right now, taking things away. What they should be doing is trying to add to what they have, not take things away. And if they want to raise the price, they need to give us more than what they're giving us. Because, I mean, yeah, they raised the price for the first time in a decade, but they haven't really given us a whole lot. I mean, if you really think about it, Plex hasn't changed that much. I mean, they've done little upgrades and little changes here and there, but they just took away another feature too. Just a month or two ago, they took away the feature for people to be watching shows together. That was popular during COVID. Why do you need to take that away? Why do you need to take that away at all? Make that a Plex Pass only feature, obviously, and keep it. Keep it. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, they're trying these different things and then they take these things away. What's up, Bama fan? See you over there. Hope things are going good for you. Um, but I already have a Plex Pass, so this will not affect me. But for those who are going to be affected, hopefully I'm able to give you some options. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily greed. I mean, you got to look at you got to look at the company as a whole and how they're doing financially. And to be honest, it's not great. This is why I'm afraid for the future for Plex to completely go under. More likely is what would happen is they will get bought out by somebody and drastically bigger changes will happen to Plex. Um, but what we're seeing right now, I think, is desperation. They don't know what to do to try to make more money. They need to make more money, and they're not, and it's just not happening. There's obviously options, but they're not using options that are available to them, like adding features and giving like multiple tiers. Also, the lifetime Plex Pass, it should go. I mean, people who already bought it should be grandfathered in, obviously, but the lifetime Plex Pass should go, and it should be a monthly fee only and yearly fee. The other option is they could make money by just getting more features in there. They were already doing like the retro gaming sharing thing a while back. I don't know if they got in trouble with some game companies over that and they had to get rid of it or not. Then they got rid of the movie sharing feature that was going good during COVID. So it's like we're seeing them continually give us less and want more money. What's that sound like? That sounds like what a lot of companies have done, including Nvidia with the new video cards that Nvidia has on the market. They took away a lot of gaming features for older games with this new video card and then charge you more money for it. And then lied about how much faster it is. But Nvidia also did the same thing. It's their MO. They did the same thing with the Shield. They brought out newer Shields that actually had less features than the old original Shield, because it had a hard drive capability of having a hard drive internally. And then they never gave us that capability, after that. So we see this across the board, not just with Nvidia, but Sony's done that with the new PlayStation. And then, going from, they got rid of the DVD drive out of it. And, it's the MO, getting rid of micro SD cards on phones. We have to speak up about these things, that these companies continually just give us less and want more money. And then they're saying, oh, no, we're giving you an upgrade. No, it's a downgrade when you're giving me less and you want more money for a product that does less. I mean, yeah, okay, so it's got a faster chip in it. Maybe it's a little faster and does this and this and this more, but in reality, it's doing less. And then you want a monthly subscription. Then everything's gone to monthly subscriptions now. Microsoft with Office, Adobe with all their software. I mean, everything from all the streaming companies wanting money for every single streaming service, even with ads. I mean, Amazon charges us for Prime and we get ads. Netflix charges us and we get ads. You can get an ad-free tier, but that costs a lot of money to go to the ad-free tier now. It used to be you didn't get no ads. You paid and you got no ads. I don't have a problem with them having an ad-driven service. The problem is you should have the ad-driven service free and have that out there to gain active users and customers so that you can sell them other products through the ads and sell them your service that is ad-free if they want the ad-free version. Then you get more people watching your dedicated shows, and the ad-based service could also be delayed by a month or so on. You have to wait till a new season of a certain show comes out, but it won't come out on the free service for a month later. So, to try to gain people to pay for the paid one. But these companies are getting greedy. You're absolutely right when it comes to that aspect of it. And I don't think they're looking at this right. You need a loss leader, but yet it's not a loss leader when you're getting paid advertisements on a service and you're giving customers a free service that has ads on it. TV was always free with ads back in the day. You got it over the air on an antenna with ads. Now we're expected to pay for it with ads. I mean, how backwards is that? We've ended up in a situation where you you don't really get to watch the up-to-date stuff for free. And we pay taxes. So part of our taxes, I don't know if everybody knows this, but part of the taxes actually goes to the over-the-air stuff that we're supposed to be able to get for free, because we're supposed to be able to get the emergency broadcast system coming through these channels along with our news, our local news. And in my area, my local channel stopped being broadcast at all. It's only available now, like basically it's only available on cable. And if you want one of the local CBS, which is ridiculous. They stopped broadcasting it. Instead, they broadcast a whole different channel on that now over the air. I've tried this with countless different tuners and boxes and at people's houses, and contacted the network to get, and I got no satisfaction about that at all. It's like, so the government's falling down on the job, letting these companies get away with this type of stuff. Yeah, money, money, money. It is greed. It is definitely greed. But then they get to a point where they don't understand, oh, we're not making they do this, right? They say, we're not making enough money, so we've got to increase the price. No. What you need to do is do what you need to do to increase subscribers, not increase your price on your current subscribers. You need to make more money, figure out a way to get more customers, make customers happy so they're coming back to you. It all has to do with making people feel like they're getting a value for their money, so that they tell their friends and family, hey, subscribe to this, pay for this. This is a great value. Back in the day, years and years ago, I used to tell people that about Amazon Prime Video. Prime Video is a great value, especially if you're on Social Security or, SSI or, food stamps. You can get it, for like $6 a month. You can't do that anymore. I mean, it's, Amazon Prime isn't like that anymore. I don't recommend anything Amazon anymore. The whole company has gone downhill. Quality of their products is terrible, and you don't get things as fast in the mail as you used to. On top of Prime Video just isn't what it used to be either. So, and that's, I guess, the moral of what I'm trying to talk about. They need to understand customer service. Make your customers happy, they'll keep coming back. But don't keep taking things away and charging them more, and they're going to feel like they're getting ripped off, and they are. They are getting ripped off to a certain extent. Does anybody have anything to ask me? That's just my personal opinion on these things. I don't know what else to say on it other than what I think what I said was pretty much to the point. And I hope all of you guys are having a great evening. If any of you have any ideas on what kind of content you would like me to put out, what information you would like to see from me, leave a comment in the video and let me know, because I'm happy to take requests and try to give you guys the information you're looking for, because at the end of the day, I'm here doing this for you. Again, customer service. You're my customer basically, and I'm offering a service to you to come and see this information. Trying to do something good anyway. So it is what it is. If we continue to let the companies get away with all of this, they're just going to continue getting away with it. We got to speak with our pockets books. We got to stop paying for services that aren't worth it. And I'm not talking about pirating or doing things illegal either. Just talking about the fact that we've got to make sure they know that this type of thing is unacceptable, and basically do a boycott, right? So you do a boycott and don't purchase their product. um, and that's kind of what I'm talking about in a sense. I can't boycott Plex. I've already paid them a lifetime Plex Pass, but in a sense, I would recommend, if you haven't bought a Plex Pass, probably don't pay Plex. Don't encourage this type of behavior. Maybe it'd be better. Maybe you'd be better off to take the disadvantages maybe that are with something like Jellyfin, along with the advantages it has, and use that instead. And if Plex goes down, if it, because it makes these decisions, that's its fault, because it decided to go down this road. And we can't, you know we can't change any of that. um but anyway, yeah, I don't know what else to say on that subject. Let's see what else. They always have an excuse to raise prices. Money, 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 Bama fan says. All digital future not good at all. Yeah, it's a mess. Our digital future right now is, now, all of this happened years ago, and we were all like, oh yeah, this is terrific. We're going to be we're cutting the cable cord. We're getting rid of cable TV. We're going to save so much money. And now we're spending more money than ever. More money than ever. All these streaming services are so expensive that it's absolutely ridiculous how much money they're wanting. No, but the price of a lifetime membership for MB is $119. The price of a lifetime membership for Plex is going up to $250 from 119. So if you take that into account, MB is probably not going to be far behind following suit with Plex. If Plex can get away with this, then MB may just up their price as well. I don't think they'll up their price as much. I think they'll probably up the lifetime price, and they'll probably up it. I don't know what they'll up it to, but they'll probably up it. They won't up it as much because they'll probably want to try to undercut Plex a little bit, and possibly to gain customers that are leaving Plex, because people are leaving because they're taking away the free connection. So the free remote connection for people, sharing it with their friends and family. Um, that's basically what's happening. So I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, if you look at MB's page here, MB Premier, 119 $119 right here. 1 year is 54 $4.99 for per month. So if we look at Plex, their subscription, let's see, the up in price is going from $4.99 to $6.99 a month, $39.99 to $69.99 for a year, and the lifetime plan is going up from $119.99 to $249.99. So we're not exactly sure. There is for MB. It's still a $119 plan. And I believe Plex, you can still get the lifetime subscription for Plex Pass for $119 right now. April 29th is when the price hike goes into place, as far as what I've been told through these articles. So take that as you all will, as far as deciding what you want to do with your money. Whether you want to subscribe or not subscribe is absolutely up to you. I'm not telling you what you should or should not do. Let's see here. No, you can't. Not for free. You can't. You have to pay for a Plex Pass as of April 29th. You're going to have to pay for a Plex Pass to share your Plex. So if you're sharing your Plex with friends or family, you're not going to be able to share it anymore. I have a Plex Pass, a lifetime Plex Pass, so I'll still be able to share mine with who I'm sharing it with. That's not a problem. But if you currently have a Plex and it's a free Plex, then you will not be able to share it anymore. That is correct. Let's see. What's cool, Bama? What's cool about not being able to share your Plex anymore? You don't like you a Plex hater? I'm just playing with you. I have Plex for $119 for years. I'm going to get a second service. It seems MB has it where it can add your own live TV without an antenna. Yeah, I wasn't going to go into that because that, it's a big thing, obviously with the whole IPTV thing. I'm not going to get into any of that type of thing as far as what MB can do or Jellyfin can do that Plex can't do in that area. Adding M3Us or other types of things in there. Yeah, Bama fan. You'll still be able to access my Plex. As a matter of fact, hold on. Let me go in here. I think I'm going to just remove you right now. No, I'm just playing. Shoot. Yep. But yeah, people are gonna need to think about their future, what they want to do. They have a little bit of time. That you have well over a month right now, because if it's April 29th when they're going to do this, you have over a month and in a week or more. So that's really plenty of time to figure out a solution, whether you're going to pay for Plex Pass or whether you're going to decide to go to something else. That's really up to people. This is part of the reason, this brings me on to another subject. This is part of the reason why I, this is part of the reason why I advocate for using a more open, more operating system for your NAS. You're going to have to hope that whatever NAS you're using, if you're using a NAS to be your server, you're going to have hope that it's got, if something like this happens to Plex and you've been using the free Plex and you don't want to pay for the Plex Pass, you're going to have to hope your NAS has the app for the whatever service you're going to put on it. If you're running something like Windows, you can almost be assured that it's going to be available for that or for a few other operating systems out there as well. But when you use a proprietary NAS, like that comes from whatever it might come from, whether it's a Synology or whether it's Western Digital or whether it's QNAP, you tend to be at the mercy of their app store. You can't really load, a lot else on it, but what comes from their app store. Whereas you got a lot more flexibility on other types of NASs that maybe are running a Linux OS or a Windows OS. I run Windows for mine. A lot of people say, well, that's too bloated. It's got too much overhead. The server version is too expensive. No, it's not. You can go to a variety of websites out there and you can get a very cheap price for a key for a server version of Windows. It's not expensive at all. And there's way more tutorials out there to set up anything you want to on Windows, whether it be HTTP or whether it be FTP or whether it be anything you want. So that's just a better way to go. Not to mention it's more compatible on your home network. if you're running Windows-based PCs than a NAS that's from Synology or one of these other companies. I'm just not a fan of these proprietary operating systems that they say is terrific because, oh, they made an all-in-one NAS, and I just don't think it's the best route for people to go to have something that's scalable, upgradable, and good for the home user. You also can't pull your hard drive out of that and read it on something else if you want to get the data off of it. Let's say the NAS dies and you need to get your data off the drive. That could be a major, major, major issue because you're like, oh, well, I've got these multiple drives in my NAS and I'm backing up from one to the other in the NAS. But if the NAS dies, you've got your main and your backup in the NAS. And people are saying, well, you should get two NASs. Well, how much money you got? You going to spend on all of that? If it's a home server and you're wanting to save money, you can easily buy a very inexpensive mini PC and put a bunch of hard drives into a nice USB housing, and you can run that just fine. Will there be some performance issues? Maybe, but if you do it right, not much, because it's just a home server. My particular server runs that way. I'm running off of a couple of USB 3.2 Gen 2 boxes, and I've got a 3.0 boxes. So, you know, but the NASs get kind of pricey, especially if you start looking for one that's got some decent power. Like I decided to go with a small form factor PC, which wasn't too large for me. It was, it's a pretty good size, but it still is running a desktop processor. And I'm able to get enough performance out of that so that my Plex runs pretty well as the rest of my server. Then I put a card in that machine in order to give me the performance I needed for the USBs, because I wanted two USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports that gives me double the bandwidth. So I'm getting 10 gig per port out to two separate boxes. And then I have another box that's just a really large USB 3.0 box. That's just the backup box. That doesn't get accessed over my network at all. It only gets accessed locally on that machine. And what happens is my software that does my backing up, it does scheduled backups to those drives. And the software I use for that is actually, I'll show you actually, because I can remote into it right here. So if I remote into my server right here, the backup software is called Mirror Folder. Right now it's suspended because I don't leave the backup drives plugged in all the time on purpose, because if a virus hits my thing or it gets hacked or whatever, it can't affect the backup drives. I've also got other backups on some other PCs, but then I've got all of my drives right here available to me for accessing all of my data. So this is my server. And then if the other backup gets plugged in, it then populates a whole nother set of hard drives that are all the backups of these. And then what'll happen is I can then turn on my Mirror Folder to do my backups, so that it just backups on a schedule for me, and it automatically backs up my data. And I don't have to worry about doing anything. It just backs up anything new that has changed on those drives since I did the last backup. And I generally do that once or twice a week because I don't need it to do it every single day. But that's my routine that I go through. I don't have to do much to start it. All I do is I just push the power button to turn on the box with the backup drives, and it just does the backup for me. So I'm good to go. And then this is running my Plex. So if I want to, do anything to my Plex server, add a library or whatever, I can do it all from right here. I can do it. I can also do it over my, on another computer, but I can open Plex from right here, and I can actually, do whatever I want to on my Plex. So if I wanted to add a library, I could just go right here and I could say, hey, let's add a movie library or a TV or a music library or photos or whatever I want to add. and then I would end up adding another library to my library that's in my Plex. And so this backs everything up. Now the way this does the way this particular machine does the server, the FTP and the HTTP server, that goes through the 2S server, which this is the Internet Information Server. And in here is where you set up your FTP and HTTP servers for your computer. So if I go here, I've got my site set up. And this is very simple to set up. You just make sure you get the information service installed, and then you go in here and you set up an FTP and HTTP and have it ready to go. Then you use a DDNS. Then you use a DDNS server, and the DDNS server will actually transfer your website off the internet to this server, and then you have your HTTP server set up and ready to go. And that just depends on what kind of servers that you're wanting to run. Anyway, just a quick overview of that. Let's see. Been going almost an hour now. So I'm going to let you guys go, and I'm going to get out of here. And hopefully you guys liked the information. Leave a thumbs up if you did, and let me know. Leave a comment down below. Which router do I recommend? Right now, probably an Asus router. They're really good. You can also get, multiple Netgear routers are good. There's a few different good routers out there. TP-Link is not doing well right now, so I wouldn't use TP-Link. They've got some security issues. You need a new one, yeah. So my router is a custom router, which is not really going to be for most people because it's a lot more work than your average person can handle. Most people need to just buy a pre-done router ready to go. But yeah, if you go out and get yourself a nice Asus or Netgear router, you'll probably be all right. Those are pretty good. But there's a lot of them. They range in price from, pretty reasonable on up. That depends on what kind of Wi-Fi you want. It depends on the performance you want out of your router, what kind of performance you want out of the Ethernet ports on the router, whether you just want a 1 gig router or you want a router that's got 2.5 or 10 gig ports on it. So there's whether you want Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 7, you just got to look at those features and decide for yourself what features you need. What devices do you have? So you can get a router that goes along with your devices you have. If you've got like a new up-to-date phone that's got like Wi-Fi 7, you might want to look into a router that's got Wi-Fi 7. Yeah, the Netgear Nighthawk will be fine. I'm not jumping up and down for joy about Netgear. They're okay. They're not bad. They're among some of the better ones out there right now. And that being said, there's also a lot of other routers as well. When it comes to the router, I'm running a custom Intel mini PC as a router that's running pfSense. So I'm not running a name brand router at all. My router is an actual computer running an SSD, running separate RAM. That is, it is what it is. So that's what I run for my router. I should have changed it out a long time ago, but I still ran a TP-Link for a long time. Their security went far bad. So the S24 Ultra, I don't know if that might have Wi-Fi 7, so you might want to check what other devices you've got, what Wi-Fi they have. Usually a good Wi-Fi 6 router is going to do the job for most people right now. Yeah, Wi-Fi 7 routers get kind of pricey, so a good Wi-Fi 6 router will probably be fine for you. I only have Wi-Fi 6 in my house, but my router is not what's doing my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is running over a separate mesh kit for the Wi-Fi, and the router is just the router. So if I ever want to upgrade my Wi-Fi, I do that separately. I have it modular. My Wi-Fi is not the router, and the router is not the Wi-Fi. If I go to upgrade my Wi-Fi, I don't have to upgrade the router. So that being said, I like keeping the stuff separate that way. That way, when you're setting up your Wi-Fi as a mesh in your home, it's kind of nice to have that ability. But I mean, it also depends. If you're just in an apartment with a couple of bedrooms, you don't need all of that. You just need a router that's got the Wi-Fi built into it and just hook that up. Everybody's a little different. Just depends on the person and their needs. So when it comes to that type of thing. And you have to decide that for yourself, what your needs are as far as what would be best for you to particularly purchase when it comes to a router, because there's a lot of options out there. Because for even when you look at Netgear and you look at Asus and others, those are just two brands, but they have tons of models. And then there's tons of mesh kits that also do the routing as well. So you can buy a mesh kit that will also be your router. But sometimes some of those are have a little less on the routing side, but they might still do the job for you. I mean, do you have the need for your router to do a lot of special things on the router's end of it? I mean, that kind of depends on the person. So, everybody's going to be a little different. One of these days I'll do a video showing you going through pfSense. And I'll go in detail on pfSense and why that's a good option. There's also OpenSense. There's other good options out there. I just happen to go and use pfSense. That's what I happen to use. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the best option out there or the best option for everybody. It is one of the better options for security. And the security I get out of it is absolutely terrific. And it really, really, I can tell the difference. It does block a lot of bad stuff on the router's end. And it does a lot of caching on the router's end on the SSD drive if I want it to. So that it speeds things up on my network as far as caching a lot of sites and a lot of data, so that I'm not dependent on the internet all the time for the performance. It comes directly from the router. So that being said, you guys all have a great evening, and I'm going to get off of here. Like I said, it's been over an hour I've been on, and now it's been an hour and 2 minutes, almost an hour and 3 minutes I've been on. So I like to go live. I only like to go for about an hour. That's about as much as I can handle on here. Some people are beasts and go for 3-4 hours. I can't do that. But you guys have a great night, and I'll see you again in the next live show. Catch you all later.